Ray.
Well, let's hear from Rick Wren. How's your Tums supply coming along today?
Well, earlier I told you I hadn't taken any, but I just took about a quarter of a bottle just then. I'll tell you what, now's the shootout. You know, we got, I don't know, 7 or 8 laps to go or whatever. It's just going to be like a Saturday night shootout right here, except it's at 180 mile an hour and 3 or 4 wide.
Does anybody say anything to Hornaday, or is it all in his hands now?
It's all up to him now. I just like to thank all the guys. I want to thank all our troops overseas for supporting what we do. And, you know, Chevrolet said they've never won a speedway race, so maybe today's the day. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, good luck to you, Rick Wren. Calling shots for Ron Hornaday. We're about ready to go back to green at Talladega.
I would like to get some of that Tums from him. This is this kills me. I mean, these guys are going to be. It says in the Bible somewhere, he who is first will be last, and vice versa. That could be the case right here. Kyle Busch is first right now. I don't see him staying there.
He could be last. That's true.
And that was a great start by Kyle Busch and Tom Bodine, lined up like that. Both got going quick. They didn't have a big gap or anything.
They kept everybody together. Hornaday looks like he has an idea.
Thoughts about going to the outside.
Really need to have a good run, some momentum when you tuck to the outside. You've got to have that momentum, or you'll just drive out there and stall. He didn't have the momentum, was able to tuck back in to that inside line.
Yeah, Colin Brown was able to let him back in line there. He looked like he may have been able to squeeze him out if he wanted to. He gave him some room.
Inside of 10 laps to go, we always start in a single file restart, and a few trucks have moved outside of that low line. It is Kyle Busch, Todd Bodine. They are up to speed and running as they cross the start-finish line. 6 laps of racing to go at Talladega.
Eric Darnell had made a move to the outside. Mike Wallace was running 7th. He saw Eric coming. He said, I'm going to go outside there with him. I know I can't win this race from the bottom, from 7th. I'm going to have to try to make something happen.
And that's the smartest thing. That's why people talk about how good Mike Wallace is. That's just a great decision. He knows how fast that Ford is. He said, I want to get in front of him. I got a pretty good idea where he's heading.
You see him motioning out the window, telling Eric to stay behind him. We'll try to work together here and get towards the front.
A lot of communication going on, not only with the hands, but also the spotters are being told, hey, let's work together to see if we can move to the front.
But be careful what you ask for, Phil. When you ask somebody to pull up behind you and hit you, it's a dangerous game. These bumpers don't match up. These trucks get very loose when people start pushing on them. Darnell decides he doesn't need Mike Wallace.
Eric Darnell has said, all right, I want to get by Mike Wallace. I want to lead this second pack. Let's see if he's able to do it. John West Townley will jump out in front of him. Let's see if those 2 Fords can work well together.
2 Fords, 2 teammates now on the outside.
They have been so strong this entire race. Eric Darnell has led 48 laps today at this racetrack. He wants to lead the last one. Inside of 5 laps of racing to go, it's still Kyle Busch out in front of Todd Bodine and Ron Hornaday.
Wes Townley doesn't know how to do the job like Eric Darnell and Mike Wallace does. You see him, he's not down on those other trucks. Eric Darnell says, man, I like you, John West, but we got to go. You're not doing it right.
Now Mike Wallace is going to come in. There's a bump draft. Eric jumps to the inside there. I'm not sure if he left enough room for Mike Wallace.
He moves in. A couple other trucks have moved out in front of that 99.
Tough break for Mike Wallace. He just couldn't get back in line. He'll fall to the back, but don't think his race is over.
Now, one of the trucks that moved out was the 6 of Colin Brown. Yes, Colin Brown did bring out our last caution. They put on 4 new tires, put him back out there, and Colin Brown went across the start-finish line in 7th the last lap.
Got John West sideways there. Somebody was pushing on him. He is being shucked out now. He's on the outside the 3rd lane by himself.
TJ Bell right behind Colin Brown. TJ got a lucky dog earlier. Now he's racing for the win here at Talladega.
What an impressive job he's done in that TRG Chevrolet here in the last few races. This is a brand new truck for TJ, built by Kevin Harvick for TRG.
It is heating up. They cross the start-finish line. 3 laps of racing to go at Talladega. Here comes that second line.
Colin Brown, 21st. One of the last trucks on the lead lap 2 laps ago. Now he's racing for the lead.
Here he comes, Colin Brown on the second line. The train is going by. Colin Brown has got momentum. Let's see if he can get by that 51 of Kyle Busch.
They're all pushing. You see them all wiggling. That's because they've got somebody on their bumper. Matt Crafton pulls out to make it 3 wide.
Side by side when they go into turn number 3. Kyle Busch on the inside. He's got help from the 30.
Colin Brown just doesn't need TJ Bell to get too overzealous and push that truck too hard. He'll push him right around, but they're taking the lead on the outside.
Getting ready to come through the tri-oval. Colin Brown, can he lead this lap? Here comes Kyle Busch once again. He surges forward on the inside. Across the start-finish line. The separation, 2 1/1000ths of a second. 2 laps of racing to go.
It's anyone's race right here. Colin Braun is leading that pack on the outside. Kyle Busch hanging tough right on the yellow line.
This is synchronized driving. Anything can go wrong at any second. The way they're pushing on each other, these trucks want to get out of control. The drivers are fighting constantly to try to hang on.
Look at Todd Bodine get up against that 51 and propel him by that 6 truck.
Those 2 trucks have pulled away from the rest of the trucks in the bottom line. That could be detrimental to that line.
Now here comes Hornaday. He's going to give a big push to Bodine, who will in return give that push to Kyle Busch.
Here comes Colin Braun again with momentum on the outside. TJ Bell right behind him.
Through the tri-oval, across the start-finish line. White flag is in the air, 1 to go. Colin Braun is leading in his Ford on the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch once again on the inside.
We're going to make it back around, Mikey?
I don't see how. I'm shocked we made it this far. I love the job these guys are doing, but I just can't explain how difficult this is, Phil. All these trucks are trying to crash.
Colin Braun now has the nose.
Oh, there it goes.
Problems
There it
behind
goes.
him, and this will end the race. Who's in front?
The caution isn't out yet. This is all behind the pack. Maybe the caution hasn't flown. No caution.
They still haven't thrown the caution. Kyle Busch is in front of Todd Bodine. Colin Braun hung out on the outside. Can he get help from TJ Bell in time? Coming out of turn number 4. Now Todd Bodine moves to the outside. Bodine makes the run. They go through the tri-oval. Can Kyle Busch get to him?
Here
Todd
comes
Bodine and Kyle Busch. It's Todd Bodine at the line. He'll win again.
And TJ Bell into the outside wall, comes across the line 8 into the outside wall.
How about Todd Bodine winning the last 3 super speedway races?
He was able to get Kyle Busch sideways off turn 4, and that broke Kyle Busch's momentum. He jumped to the outside, and what did it open up? The floodgates. Here they all come.
Look at, do you see Rick
Yep,
Wren?
Rick
How
was
happy he
celebrating.
was. Ron Hornaday comes across the line in 2nd. Johnny Benson 11th. We have a new point leader.
39 points unofficially, the difference between Hornaday and Benson. So we have a new point leader in the Truck Series, and a familiar face is going to be headed back to victory lane here at Talladega. Of the 3 races, he's won 2 of them.
How good is that? How good was that? That was perfect.
Also won
my goodness.
Daytona last year.
3 in a row for Todd Bodine in this Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra.
I mean, this year, Daytona this year.
Yeah.
The last 3 races.
Last 3 super speedway races. There's Mike Hillman Jr. emotional after this win.
Todd Bodine won that race. He got in the back of Kyle Busch coming off turn 4. Well, look at that. He got Busch all out of whack and just drove up beside him.
Todd Bodine celebrating win number 14. Adam.
And Mike Hillman Jr. had to wipe the tears from his eyes when he climbed down off the pit box. You got a hug from your father. I know you're excited, but what about that driver in the closing laps? He was amazing.
You know, that guy drives his butt off, and these guys pour their hearts into this thing. And 3 speedway races in a row, that's unheard of, you know. These guys do a great job week in and week out on this Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra. We fight through adversity no matter what they throw at us, and we're back in victory lane. It's awesome.
It's hard to win at Talladega. Not many have gone back-to-back. Todd Bodine, 2 in a row in Alabama.
His 2nd win of 2008. As you mentioned, Phil, he wins the first super speedway of the race, kicking off the 2008 season at Daytona. And now he grabs the checkered flag and will celebrate here in front of the crowd that really saw.
That's all I can take, y'all.
Amazing race. Take a look at this final, well, about 400, 500 yards.
That's where he gets him sideways. He's got Hornaday right behind him. They've got momentum right now. Now Kyle Busch has to be concerned about the 16 of Brian Scott. Todd Bodine drives by.
Brian Scott could have very well won that race if he could have just got an inch up beside Kyle Busch, but Kyle blocked him off. Brian had to come out of the gas. He had a great run down on the bottom.
And remember, the flat of the racetrack on the last lap will work. Is not out of bounds.
Look at that pack. 3, 4, 5 wide across the start-finish line.
And all of them made it but one. That's pretty amazing.
Unbelievable.
And TJ Bell, the way he ran all day long, he'll sacrifice a truck for that top 5 finish he's searching for. Right here, he thinks, I got a top 5 coming.
Look at this. 4, 5, some almost 6 wide as they come through the tri-oval here to determine the final, about 15 spots.
TJ was just looking for some room out there. Ran out of room, but still crossed the line in 8th.
He knew there was a wall over there. He's just making sure he's using up all the track he could possibly use.
He saw what Carl Edwards did a week ago.
Watch
Use
this
the
move
wall.
right here. Watch him get him sideways. Right there. He's going to the inside.
right through the middle, able to get by that 51, and then he had the help of the 33 behind him, pushed him right across the start-finish line for his 3rd super speedway win in the last 3 speedway races.
Just Kyle Busch, watch his hands. That's when he got a little bit loose right there. That's him entering the trial right there. Todd already got into the back of him, got him loose. We saw his hands. Now he's fighting back, trying to side draft off Hornaday. Now then he pulled down the block. Brian Scott in the 16 truck.
Ron Hornaday racing for a championship. Comes home 2nd at Talladega. Huge day.
What a big day. Now, the only hurdle really for Ron Hornaday, well, not the only hurdle, but one of the big hurdles is our next race, which is Martinsville, a short track race. Take a look at this from the Goodyear blend.
I tell you, Brian Scott really took all his momentum away.
You know the hype that Mike Wallace gets for being one of the best restrictor plate super speedway drivers there is? He deserves it. 5th place finish.
We saw him get shuffled back.
Look at this. Crew celebrating when they see him go across the start-finish line. How about a fan of Todd Bodine's, Bo Bice? Take a look at him in the gray shirt there. Good friend of Todd Bodine's, the Onions, Bo Bice celebrating. How about that?
I think I can get more air than him.
Let's go down to Chris Devoto.
Well, we are with Kyle Busch, the other Toyota, who was leading that race. And Kyle, I know anything is it's wild at Talladega. You were on the front end of this thing when we were here in the Cup race in the spring. Talk about that last lap. Is there anything you could have done differently, or what happened out there from your perspective?
No, nothing really I could have done differently. Bodine's truck was just real strong. He was the best Toyota we had out there today. And just unfortunately, he got into us coming off the corner there, got me a little bit loose, but I got it back down to the bottom, and they shot up and around me on the outside. But we wouldn't have been in that position anyways if it wasn't for Todd dumping the 99 and getting in behind us earlier and being able to push us up there like that. So, I guess the 3rd place at Talladega is pretty good, and we'll take that and, go on into the next few.
Well, I know he wanted to be on the front end of it, but Kyle Busch is such a fan of these truck races and Talladega. Like he said, he'll take that top 3 finish and head out. Let's go to Victory Lane, though. Our other Toyota, the winner, Todd Bodine.
And the celebration started long before Todd Bodine got here. And now that he's in Victory Lane, it continues. Another checkered flag for Todd Bodine at Talladega. Oh my, what a final lap. Take us through.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. Going down the back straightaway, I'm thinking, okay, I just finished 2nd here, push Kyle down there, try to get him to win, get a good finish, good points race. And we come off a 4, and I hit him, got him sideways, and I had to go to the outside. And then I had a buddy behind me, Ron Hornaday. We've been friends here. Even the deal at Charlotte, we got over it. We drink beers together. We park our coaches together, playing cornhole. He was back there, and he come back and pushed me, and here we are. I can't believe it.
Put in perspective what it's like to win 3 consecutive races at super speedway tracks.
Well, I tell you, it's these guys right here. They worked their tail off on this truck, and when they built it, and then they rebuilt it, and they rebuilt it again for here. And these are the guys that make it run good. Everybody at Germain Racing, all the Fab Shop, everybody at TRD and the Motor Shop. The Fords had us covered with horsepower, but a good handling truck with a good body in this Tundra. We kept with them, and I gotta thank all the fans that are here. The great crowd today. Hope it was good TV.
Indeed it was. Todd Bodine's had some ups and downs throughout this year, but when you win at Talladega, it makes all the problems go away. He's done it 3 times in a row. Talladega, Daytona, and back here in Talladega again, guys.
His 110th race and his 14th career win. Todd Bodine back in victory lane again. He celebrates, and he knows how to do it. He's done it 14 times with those wins. We'll be back for more of the action from Talladega right after these messages.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is presented on speed by Toyota, moving forward, and brought to you in part by Craftsman. Craftsman tools are the official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears.
Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. Todd Bodine winning this one today, actually by a wide margin. A year ago, the difference between first and second was .014 seconds. Well, Ron Hornaday was way back there, 7/100ths of a second behind Todd Bodine. Let's hear from him.
Well, let's talk to Ron Hornaday about what an amazing race you had today. Tell us about that last lap. What's it like being the driver whenever they're 3 wide coming after the white flag?
I would just hold on to my truck. I seen them two get together and they got sideways. And I was going for the open spot, and it ended up where Todd got in front of me and I pushed him to the win. But awesome job for the Camping World Chevrolet. Rick Wren, all the guys. I got to thank Cale Gale. He's been sticking around these races and building shocks for us. And Houston, everybody at the shop is just doing an awesome job, and this is what makes it so fun. And bringing a brand new truck, never been tested, and Chevrolet putting it in the wind tunnel with us, and Mark Smith with the motors. We'll take a second. That feels like a win here at Talladega for me.
Ron, you had the penalty on pit road, and then it got you way back in 26. At that point, were you worried at all, or did you know you could get back to the front?
Well, you don't know that. Nobody was moving. Rick Wren was all worried about it, but we got a new Fendagled tack in that thing with a bunch of lights and everything, and I never seen it go to red. I guess it's got to go to yellow, green, and then red. And I'm learning about it, but I don't know if that got me on speeding or not. Maybe I just got excited. But the truck came back through. I mean, I got to thank Mike Wallace. I left him out there. We'll blame Rick Crowley on that one. I ain't going to take the blame on that. I told him never let me leave my wingman, and he cleared me, and I thought Mike was with us. And I went down and I looked up, and Mike wasn't with us. So I owe Mike Wallace one. He definitely pushed me to the front. And but like I said, we'll take second. Todd's back bumper's probably tore off that thing. He's been beat up all day long, and I'm glad that our Camping World Chevrolets got to push him to the front.
Great finish for Ron Hornaday, and he finishes second. Another good day in the points. Krista?
Well, Colin Brown was driving the train on the high line, and with 2 laps to go, Colin, you were in position to win this race. Had that sunk in? What was going through your mind? Did you think, I'm about to win a race at Talladega?
No, not really. I was just trying to do everything I could to keep that number 6 Common Freight Ford F-150 truck near the front. These guys work so hard on that truck, and my crew chief Mike Beam and the body guy Will, they've been in the wind tunnel nonstop the last little bit, and till the wee hours of the morning, and they've done a really good job with that truck. And obviously we had great Roush Yates power, but didn't really think about it. Just was trying to do everything I could to get back to the front after we blew that tire out there in the middle of the race, and just had to work the top line, and wherever trucks weren't is where my truck seemed to run pretty good at.
And you're leading this Raybestos rookie standings. You come here, and it's such a wild card. Anything could happen. You go out of here, what's your goal for the rest of the season? Obviously to get that win, but what else do you want to do?
Well, obviously win that Rookie of the Year championship, and it'd be nice to get a race win in here. I feel like we've been in a position quite a few times this year, maybe at the midpoint of the race to have a fast enough truck to win it and haven't put it together. Either made a rookie mistake or had, somebody get wrecked in front of us and run into it. So had those kind of problems, but I feel like we've maybe shed some of that, and hopefully can get a race win in here before the year's out.
Colin Brown getting close. Rick?
Well, Colin Brown was leading when they took the white flag, but 2.66 miles later, it was Todd Bodine getting the help from our point leader, Ron Hornaday, and the win at Talladega. Welcome back to the Mountain Dew 250, presented on Speed by Toyota. Todd Bodine continuing the hat dance in victory lane here at Talladega Super Speedway. We want to take a look at what took place on the backstretch. I thought a caution may have come out, but since it was in the back of the field, NASCAR did not throw. There's Jeff Green in that 40.
It looked like Jeff Green got hit from behind, turned into the outside wall. Then John Wood came along. That's Joey Logano, the 59. Brendan Gaughan also got a piece of that.
I bet you John Wood thought this wreck wasn't ever going to end.
See, right there you see
John Wood makes a move to the outside, but at the same time, somebody got together down below them. Jeff Green drives into John Wood. Look at the speed he's going across the track, Phil.
Yeah, and going to hit the inside wall there.
Joey Logano also got caught up in this, and that number 59, a tough night for him. Let's go to Adam Alexander.
And I thought Johnny Benson was going to get through that final crash. You were just watching it here on our monitor. Take us through what happened from your perspective, JB.
I was in pretty good shape, actually, and then right at the end, down a bunch of us, we got slid up a little bit. Mike Wallace got underneath me. I was wanting him to push me the way up there, but I got just a little bit too much of a gap, and he squeezed and got in there, and then that pretty much killed what we had going on. But other than that, the distribution guys did a great job. Our truck was really good. Just kept getting in my fault, kept getting in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, but we made it through. We didn't get any wrecked or anything like that. So it's just on to Martinsville.
Johnny Benson right in the championship hunt as we get set for Martinsville in 2 weeks.
The point standings scrolling across the top of your screen. You saw maybe a little bit of the movement that's taken place there. Obviously, Ron Hornaday taking the top spot away from Johnny Benson. Todd Bodine moved 3 spots up in the point standings to 4th. Now let's see how Todd Bodine and his Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra team had the winning touch in today's race. The winning move coming out of turn 4.
That was the winning touch. Touch said it right when he got into the back of Kyle Busch, got him sideways, jumped to the outside, had a push from Ron Hornaday, gets to the start-finish line first.
Little love touch at 185 off turn 4 coming to the checker.
Well, I'm guessing that he maybe added a little bit of gray to Kyle Busch's hair after that move out of turn number 4. Today's winning touch was brought to you by the new Touch of Gray that lets you keep some gray. Touch of Gray for the generation that swore it would never get old. Let's go to Adam Alexander.
A yo-yo day for Mike Wallace. You spent time outside the top 25, but when the smoke clears, you were 5th. Talk about your afternoon, Mike.
Well, you can't run up front all day. You got to let people know you can come from the back, you know. No, I kind of screwed up at the start of the race, got to the back, got back towards the front, but I had a heating issue, and I didn't want to put much heat in the motor early on, so I backed back off there. But, you know, just all the cards lined up pretty good. Congratulations, Todd Bodine, the whole Germain race team, and his Lumber Liquidators Toyota, my Geico Toyota, and Germain Toyota. You know, it was just, the guys did a good job. You know, it's just frustrating. And what I mean, it's fun frustrating. You know, you're trying to pass somebody, but the trucks are so equal. You can hear everybody lifting in the draft and back to the throttle, and then you just hope to get to the finish without tearing anything up. And, you know, for Germain, it's 1st and 5th, so all good today.
Yeah, a great day for the Germains, no doubt about it.
Take a look at the point standings through 20 races. As the unofficial standings, a switch at the top. Ron Hornaday now 39 in front of Johnny Benson.
I don't know, Phil. I think maybe Ron eliminated a few guys today. What do you think?
I think so, too. I think it's a two-man race. Ron Hornaday's been my pick all year. I'm going to stick with him. He's got Mo on his side, certainly.
Next race, it's another variable on that championship run. We go back to the short track of Martinsville Speedway.
Hey, 0.4 of a second from 1st back to 15th in this race. The guy that finished 15th is only 0.4 of a second behind the winner.
And I guarantee you Landon Castle gets a 6th place finish. He's saying, how did I finish 6th? I saw the winner. He was right in front of me. Where were those other 4 guys?
Some great performances put in today by a lot of different drivers. Brian Scott finishing 7th in this one. TJ Bell, another top 10 finish for him. But it was Todd Bodine, the Onion, able to get out in front, making it 3 Super Speedway wins in a row. Thanks for watching here on Speed.